So I think all the speakers, please proceed to the stage. And I would like to move on to the last session of this forum. The theme is reverse ideas. Wada-san, Inaba-san, Agil-san, and I myself would also join, and Khan-san. Ms. Khan, do you have microphone, Ms. Khan?
はい。ちょっと時間も
So because of the limited time, we need to proceed once. Reverse ideas. I think there were many concepts brought by these speakers, and I want to ask you, what do you think about this reverse ideas? From myself, in this drastically changing era, we have development of communication tools and technology, and with that, I think world has become more closer. We are more smaller world because of those communication tools, and we are now able to have more contact with a different culture, different religion, practices, and different values. I think we have the opportunity to know them more than ever. However, because of the very rapid speed of this technology and communication tools, and hence we have the competition, very harsh competition society based on economy. So we want to become a global citizen. And isn't this very rapid change paralyzing our capability of making judgment to share and live together as a citizen, global citizen? So through the exchange and having to get to each other and knowing each other, maybe we'll be able to find a solution for the future so that we can share the affluence for the human being. There may be some answers to it through the exchange of opinions and communication. So my question to the speakers.
I want to ask you about the theme today, which is reverse ideas. What's your thought on this theme here?
Well, I think it's really left to a lot of individual interpretation, isn't it? Everybody sort of embraces this idea from their own perspective. For me, I think it's going back to traditional values and understanding our roots. There's so much wisdom and so much wealth that we must learn to uncover. And it would be a shame if we didn't. And I think we talked about this earlier, Andy. It's all about absorbing as much as you can from the previous generation in order to give the future generation a much better chance at optimal success.
Yeah, I think so too. Yes, the wisdom of the predecessor. Yes, the wisdom of the predecessor. Well, I am doing a program called Design Talk in NHK Broadcasting TV, and there we are having an understanding of the depth of the Japanese tradition and the crafts, but that lies in the predecessor's wisdom and lifestyle. We have to go back and see and understand the form and shape that we see now, the motifs, all born in those predecessors' wisdom. And I think we tend to forget that. Not a bit, but we have forgotten the traditional value, and we are totally away from it now and having a daily life. Mr. Wada, what do you think about reverse idea? そうですね。In myself, I have been absorbing and trying to think about what to say and what was my idea. Well, I think that I am always making a reverse and having a thinking, trying to do so as much as possible. So in case of myself, for example, music, how is music created and how is sound created? I go back again and I think about how to create the sound. For example, electronic music, You have the piano, and you have the tones, and you have the system, keyboards, you have the system. But originally, when you go further in depth, the sound, you have the different sound tones and different things coming out. So yes, the Islamic music, you don't have the black and white keyboards. In between, you have in Indonesia, the villages have their own different ways to tuning the music. So it is not just one system. We have been enjoying one system like keyboard, and we think that is just one answer, only answer. But on the other hand, we need to think reversely. That means we need to go back to the origin, how did it evolve, how did it happen, how was it born, why did this system born? We need to go back and bring it about. Then we may find a lost opportunity or unfound opportunity. Listening to others' presentation, I thought so, whether it be fashion or in medicine. I think when you go backwards or reverse, there are mistaken or forgotten opportunities. So we're not just going towards the future. I think we are now making a screw-like thing and going upward and it is like stereotyped, not future. We may go in different directions if we go backwards and look what had happened in the past. It's the same in music, and it's the same in fashion and medicine. I think there is a possibility. And in the current system that we have now, we have to compare that with the past, the tradition, and I'm becoming serious. I am thinking, and I'm a bit confused, but that's what I think. Dr. Inaba, through the presentation, I thought in deeply, yes, I really was understanding, and I had to think about my existence itself, how I came to be existent. So, towards the future, the tips to explore the future. What is a reverse idea for that? What do you think about this? Yes, when you think about rivers, yes, we need to start from the earth. The living creature was born, and the human being was born, and we are born now. And especially human beings, we have the neural systems, we make the brain, and we have a certain virtual reality in our mind, and we make exchange of games and money, and we may make things in society. But when we go backwards or reverse, that means that we go back to the nature, the natural thing. So we are alive, and we have to share the living creators and organisms, and we have something to share, and that is a place. The place is Earth, and we have the living creator. And we have different cultures and different religions and different tradition. Way of thinking is different. But we need to respect each of them, and we need to think about what is our existence. And when going back to the original point, that is the reverse, I guess. Yes, indeed. Professor Agil?
You just heard from Mr. Inaba. Of course, the basic thing that, unfortunately, most of us has forgotten is that we have come from nature. Now you have presented us what nature gives us. What do you think of this theme today, reverse ideas?
Yes, thank you. I agree with all speakers. We are going too far now. We are going for a journey too far now. It's time for us to come back, to think about back to nature in the real sense. Empirically, all what the nature are serving for us is empirically proven of its efficacy. So we have, I mentioned about body, mind, spirit connection. And Dr. Inaba mentioned also, this is about time for us to think about it, to help us as the right way to face the very critical period that we are facing nowadays. What are they? We are now facing the weakening of our immune system. It's very dangerous. We are facing the damaging of cells caused by our surroundings. And now we are facing also the neurodegeneration. We are very dangerous for our brain. Now, we have everything in our surroundings. Very easy, actually. But let us think clearly and seriously about that. Back to nature is the only answer, according to me.
Thank you very much, Professor. さあ、皆さん、本当は
So, ladies and gentlemen, I had prepared 2 more questions, but because of the time, I'm very sorry. We have to end at this point of time, but I think the presentation that was made by the speakers was so good, so fruitful, and I think you had shared their ideas today. But we are in an era where we need to think seriously about these things, including the researchers and artists and professors. I think all the people in the businesses as well need to think that further seriously, and we have to more deeper, what can we bring to the next generation? This needs to be thought in a global scale. So that's what I felt strongly today. So thank you very much for your presentation, and thank you very much for your ideas, speakers, and thank you for the audience as well. Thank you very much indeed.
そして満月トゥティ
Thank you very much to all the presenters, Ms. Arya Khan, Mr. Iwada, Mr. Toshiro Inaba, Ms. Mangisto Agil, and